The Congo Wars were the deadliest conflicts in Africa's modern history, involving multiple nations and leading to the deaths of millions. But what many people don't realize is how two key players, Rwanda and South Africa, helped shape the course of these wars. Rwanda's involvement was deeply personal, driven by security concerns and a thirst for control. Meanwhile, South Africa played a different role, acting as a mediator and peacekeeper. How did these nations influence the wars? Now let's dive into this story. To understand the war, we need to go back to the early 1990s. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is one of the richest countries on Earth, as it is blessed with vast deposits of gold, diamonds, and coltan, and was ruled by Mobutu Sese Seko, a dictator who had been in power for over 3 decades. But neighboring Rwanda had its own crisis. The 1994 Rwandan genocide, where nearly 800,000 Tutsis and moderate Hutus were massacred by extremist Hutu militias known as the Interahamwe. When the genocide ended, many of these militias fled into eastern Congo, using it as a base to launch attacks on the new Rwandan government. This was a major problem for Paul Kagame, Rwanda's new leader. Instead of waiting for threats to grow, he took action. In 1996, Rwanda, along with Uganda, backed a rebellion in Congo. Their chosen leader was Laurent Désiré Kabila, a longtime opponent of Mobutu. With Rwandan and Ugandan support, Kabila's forces swept through the country in a matter of months. By May 1997, Mobutu was overthrown, and Kabila became the new president of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. But Rwanda expected something in return: control over eastern Congo and the elimination of Hutu militias. Kabila, however, refused to be a puppet. This led to another war. Feeling betrayed, Rwanda and Uganda turned against Kabila and backed a new rebellion, this time against their former ally. But Kabila had learned from history. He called on help from other African nations, including Angola, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. This war became known as Africa's World War, involving 9 countries and dozens of armed groups. Millions of people died, mostly from starvation and disease. While Rwanda and Uganda were fueling the war, South Africa played a different role. Nelson Mandela and later Thabo Mbeki led diplomatic efforts to end the conflict. South Africa hosted peace talks and pushed for negotiations between the warring parties. This effort eventually led to the Sun City Agreement in 2002, which laid the foundation for peace and a transitional government in Congo. By 2003, the war officially ended, but Congo remained unstable. Rwanda still had influence in eastern Congo, and armed groups continued to operate there. One of the most significant groups to emerge was the March 23rd Movement, M23. A rebel movement made up of former fighters from an earlier Rwanda-backed militia. In 2012, they seized Goma, a major city in eastern Congo, before being defeated. But their presence never fully disappeared. In 2021, M23 resurfaced, once again bringing violence to the region and escalating tensions between Congo and Rwanda. Meanwhile, South Africa continued its role as a peacekeeper, deploying troops under United Nations missions. This war reshaped Africa. Rwanda emerged as a regional power, South Africa cemented its status as a diplomatic leader, and Congo, despite its rich resources, remains a fragile state. The Congo Wars show how foreign involvement, whether through war or diplomacy, can change a nation's fate. Rwanda fought for its security, while South Africa fought for peace. But the scars of this war remain. What do you think? Should foreign nations intervene in conflicts like this, or does it do more harm than good? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more.